folks, my name is Mark and this is Why I Hate the World, and this is just a quick video. I want to talk about our recent budget fiasco, which was narrowly averted yesterday. And so basically what happened was that the Republicans and conservatives in Congress have been delaying a vote. They've been essentially blocking a budget from getting passed over the whole, all of like last year. And now it's hit the deadline, and if they don't pass a budget, the government gets shut down. And the result of that is going to be that approximately 800,000 people are not going to get paid during the tail end of a recession. I mean, I know that they say that the recession's over. It is, if you believe what they say, but in real life, people are hurting out there. And if the government shuts down, it's going to be a disaster for the economy, okay? And which kind of leads me to believe that's why the conservatives are doing it in the first place, but, that's conspiracy, so whatever. Now, I just want to say a couple of points here. First off is that, they recently, it got this far because a lot of the teabagging people in Congress, they're trying to throw a bone to their constituents, and they're doing things like they want to defund Planned Parenthood, okay? They want to defund PBS, they want to do shit like that. They want to basically, do all of these idiotic fucking culture war strikes in the budget, and all I gotta say about that is every single last one of you people can suck my fucking dick. I swear to God, it's the conservative. It's theater. It's not defunding Planned Parenthood, getting rid of PBS, getting rid of NPR is not going to solve the fucking budget crisis, okay? It's idiotic bullshit designed to make it's throwing a bone to the fucking fucking teabagger people to make them think that shit's getting done, when in real life it's not going to solve anything. All right, first off, okay, all non-military discretionary spending, this is everything that is not Social Security, Medicare, or military spending, comes to approximately 15% of the entire budget. All right, so even if the deficit is $1.4 trillion, which it is, right? Even if we got rid of all of that, it's still going to come to somewhere around 90 to it's somewhere around the fact of 95, $950 billion is what we're still going to be spending. So it's not gonna solve the problem. Say they're making it sound like, oh, if we cut all of this shit, then spending will be under control and everything's fine. Total bullshit. All right, it's theater to basically kick the Democrats in the nuts is what it is. Okay, and so that they can get reelected, because then all the teabagger fucking morons are going to be like, see, they cut abortion, and they're going to go and they'll get reelected, and it's complete, utter bullshit, designed to placate stupid fucking people. That's what it is, alright, because, just, I don't know, makes me fucking sick. Second, if you were really, really serious about cutting spending, you'd end the fucking wars already, okay? Why aren't they doing that? I mean, is it really, which one is more important, all right? Having troops in Afghanistan and Iraq, or cutting the fucking, spending down so that we don't bankrupt the goddamn country? Which one is it going to be, all right? You can't have both, all right? We're spending somewhere in the area of $500 fucking billion a year on these goddamn wars, something like that, okay? Cut that in half. Hey, look, the deficit is already, get rid of that shit. The deficit is already $500 billion down. It's a no fucking brainer, okay? But, why aren't they doing that? How come, there was a vote a few weeks ago by, actually, I think it was Dennis Kucinich put it up, a vote to end essentially spending in Afghanistan in the House, and 8 Republicans voted for it. There was like Ron Paul and like 7 other people, and that was it. Well, why aren't you fucking conservatives out there writing your congressman? Why aren't you telling them to end the fucking wars? You know, you want to cut spending? You want to have wars? Which one is it? All right, make a fucking decision, but do it soon, please, because the goddamn country can't last this long when your fucking people aren't governing like they're supposed to. All right. The truth is, folks, conservatives don't really give a shit about spending. All right, they don't really care. All they really care about is making money for the people who support them. That's essentially how that's the goddamn truth. All right, and you know, because if they did care, see, during you know, this is the thing. All right, the last time this happened was 15 years ago during the Clinton administration. Okay, and then, you know, Clinton leaves. Right, when Clinton leaves, there's a goddamn surplus. Okay, we were well on our way to paying this shit down, you know. Suddenly the Bush people come in, they cut fucking taxes by $1 trillion, which, you know what, if we would have had those fucking taxes, this shit wouldn't be so bad now, right? Then fucking, you know, but over 8 years, the Republicans never threatened to shut the fucking government down while he was in office, you know. Why not? Okay. How come if fucking the debt and the deficit and taxes and all this other shit was such a, you know, spending such a big fucking deal, how come for 8 years Bush got a goddamn budget passed that doubled the fucking deficit and doubled the national debt, and every fucking year he gets his budget passed without a peep? There was no fights. There was no, you know, the government was never in danger of shutting down over the last decade, you know. Why not? All right. How come all of a sudden, when a Democrat becomes president, all of a sudden everybody remembers they're supposed to be fiscally conservative? All right. It's because it's bullshit. Okay. It's utter bullshit. They don't care about spending. All right. They don't care about, you know, they don't care about an oversized, bloated government. You know, all they really give a fuck about is cutting taxes for rich people. That's it. That's the only thing they fucking care about, all right? That's why when they tried to pass a budget in fucking January, the Republicans stood up and wouldn't let it go forward unless they got their fucking Bush cuts extended, because they don't give a fuck about actually the state of the country. They don't care about bankrupting America. They don't really fucking care, all right? All they want is money for rich people. That's it, okay? And you know what? If it's not true, then where the fuck are they? You know, there's you know, like I said before, there's 8 Republicans that voted to end the war. Okay, is that it? Out of like all the hundreds of fucking, you know, House members and shit, 8 of them? Are those the only 8 fucking Republicans with integrity in the entire United States government? What the fuck? I just don't understand. I mean, help me to understand this, all right? How does it fucking work? Anyway, personally, I think the entire thing is complete bullshit. I think that actually, being, you know, my own conspiracy theory fucking head, I think that the Republicans are doing it on purpose because they want to crash the economy and double dip it so that when 2012 rolls around, we still have fucking 9% unemployment and then Obama gets unelected. That's what I think, alright? But, you know, if you conservatives out there really are concerned about, you know, cutting the debt down, right, then you need to be thinking about certain things. Right? You need to be thinking about ending the fucking wars, right? You need to be thinking about raising fucking taxes. Okay, that's, you know, we're kind of past the point now where cutting is not going to do it, all right? There are services that people need, and if we cut those fucking services, people are going to suffer, okay? You know, if you cut Social Security, people are going to suffer. You cut Medicare, people are going to suffer, okay? You cut fucking college Pell Grants or whatever, I mean, it's going to fuck things up really, really bad, and it's going to have long-term consequences on not just the economy, but the health of the fucking nation, for crying out loud, alright? You know, it's time. I just know what I want. I want conservatives to get serious. I mean, if you really think that's important, then think about raising taxes, alright? End the Bush tax cuts, raise taxes on rich people. do whatever you know. Me personally, you know what I would do? I would tax religion. That's what I would do. But you know, that shit ain't never gonna happen. So anyway, it's all bullshit, and they're lying to you. And you know, the day's gonna come when this is gonna come to a head, and you know, we're gonna have a major fucking crisis, right? And they're gonna tell you it's because of Democrats are spending, and it's complete bullshit. Okay, folks, gotta wrap this up here, but before we leave, I'd like to hear from any conservatives or Republicans that might be watching this. What's your plan? What exactly would you do to rein spending and cut the deficit and eventually eliminate the debt? What's your plan? You know, let's hear it. I mean, and I'd like to hear something realistic, please. You know, I don't want anyone to come on. I mean, because you can come on here and you can be like, well, I would eliminate Social Security 100%. Yeah, well, in real life, that would never fucking happen, okay? So let's try to be as... Imagine that you got elected president tomorrow, all right? Imagine you open up a fortune cookie and it said you are now president. It's like, oh shit, I'm the president. What would you fucking do, all right? What's your budget? You know, what would you cut? What would you increase taxes? You know, would you fucking... You know what? Let's hear it. Let's hear exactly what your fucking plan is, because as far as I can tell, personally, there is no plan, all right? As far as I can tell, they're in damage control mode, and the Republicans don't really have a fucking plan, and the only thing they're really doing is making shit up that they, you know, so that they can throw these little fucking snippets of shit, you know, these little, you know, morsels to their fucking constituents, going, see, we ended this and we ended that, and in real life it's not doing a goddamn thing. It's not gonna fucking fix anything, and it's all bullshit theater to get reelected. That's what I think, but I want to hear what you think. Let's hear the conservative plan to save America, alright? And by the way, fuck you people. Adios.